My phone just restarted. I don't know what happened. Sorry about that. I have no idea what's going on. But I'm looking on my computer and it says I have 2 lives going, but I don't know how that's possible, so. No, my phone just decided to just restart. I don't know. It didn't overheat like it did on Facebook. It just freaking restarted. It freaking restarted for me. I don't know. That was so weird. My phone went black and I was like, what's happening? And then I couldn't turn it on, and then the little apple, so it just looked like it restarted. I don't know. So we're back. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. A little frustrating though. Unfortunately, I feel like TikTok's like the only place that I really don't have that many technical issues. I don't know why. Oh no, that's okay, Judy. Life happens. Yes, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Yeah, it looks like my other live is still going, even though when I came back on, YouTube was completely like off, so I had to completely restart the app. But yeah, my phone restarted itself and it kind of screwed things up, so I'm not really sure. I don't know what happened. Because on my phone, it doesn't look like any live is happening besides this one, but on my computer, it kind of looks like there's 2 lives. I don't know. I'm not good with technical issues. And I don't know how to turn a live off that isn't showing itself on my phone, on my profile on here. I know. You gotta do what's best for you. You know where to find us. You know? Once you figure things out again. Oh. Does it at least taste okay? It's weird that I could still comment on that live, but it was like not showing itself. I don't even know. I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't happen again though. Oh, yeah. Is it like Go-Gurt? Or not Go-Gurt, like the Danimals drinkable yogurt kind of things. Like those are kind of thick, but also not so thick that you can't just drink it. Yeah, you guys don't have to be in VIP to hang out and support me. I love you all. I know, it's okay. This is the folk art color shift, the Aqua Flash. Hello. Oh, that's smart. I bet it's got like lots of protein and stuff in it though, right? Thank you. Yeah, sorry, my phone completely restarted itself, Sue. And on my computer, it looks like that live was still going. But when I brought it back up on my phone, I didn't have a live to come back into. Like typically, if there's technical issues, I just kind of swipe and come back. And that was not allowing me to do that. So I just started a new live and Hopefully everybody finds their way back to me. I think we had about like 120 some people earlier, but that's okay. We'll get there. That is so weird. I don't know how to stop it. Because I don't know how to, like, I don't know how to log it off. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know. Can someone, if you can still comment in that, can you just say log out and come back on? Because I'm on a different live. I don't know. Isn't it pretty? And once I add top dots and sparkles to it, oh, it gets even prettier. I'm here. How's it going? Yeah, I don't either. But yeah, I can't turn it off, which is kind of weird. Like, I might have to completely, like, scroll out and come back to the app at the end just to close it out. I don't know. Hello. Your guess is as good as mine. Well, this is pretty. I don't really know where to go from here. Let me think for a second. Like, do I want to go like full beach, or do we just want to keep it mandala? Well, it's going to be a mandala anyways, but do I want to kind of keep it like something like this, or do I want to do like a seashell or something? The seashell will be blue. I usually do seashells in purple though, but we'll keep it blue just to keep with the theme. I don't know. So I had some little tick marks at the top so I could perfectly put all these dots around for the first layer. But besides that, yeah, I'm just kind of freehanding. Ooh, that would be pretty. I like that idea. And then we could bring something down more in the middle. Good idea. Good idea, Trina. So that'll probably be another one of these. Thank you. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna have to do, because if I swipe out now, this live will disappear too, and I don't feel like starting again for a third time. But when I log off tonight, I'll like swipe out of the app, and hopefully it'll end that live. I have no idea why it's still going on. So it does take practice, but as long as your first row of dots is symmetrical, then for the most part, it should all kind of fall in line, as long as you try and keep all of your elements nice and symmetrical and like as similar in size as possible. But it's important that this first row, especially on a wraparound design like this, it's important that that first row is a number that you can divide by. So like you don't want a prime number like 29, because you can't divide anything into this. This is 48 dots all the way around, so you can divide it into 3. You can split it up into 3 or 4, and so I split up every 4 dots so that I could kind of start doing this kind of design. Yeah, I mean, I've gotten practice with this paint because it is very stringy. Typically this would be a paint that I would call like not a good paint to use in terms of like the weird consistency, but it's so pretty that I just deal with it and I just learn how to use it. So you can call it dot art, dot painting, dot mandala, you know. I wouldn't necessarily call it pointillism, but it does kind of, you know, some stuff kind of falls in that range. I just call it dot art in general because I don't always do these mandala kind of designs. Sometimes I just do a bunch of dots of all different sizes and kind of color things in, but on this I am doing like a wraparound mandala design. I don't know, Gabrielle. I'm really not sure. It's just like a black screen. Maybe because I said hold on, they just, I don't know. I have no idea. They're small, aren't they? They're little cuties, though. But it looks like for the most part, we're kind of back up and running with the numbers here again, so that's good. Yeah. I was looking, there's cat hair. I was looking at something the other day because I was looking to see if so before I found 24 Hour Crafts as my go-to wood dealer, I used to get some wood pieces from, I think it's called Woodpecker Crafts. And they do a lot of things on like the lathe, I believe, because they don't just have flat wood pieces like 24 Hour does. They've got like bowls and, you know, a bunch of things like that. And so I was looking on their website the other day to see if they had anything like this, but they didn't, unfortunately. This is a wooden cup. So my idea for this is that it would be like a pen holder, or like a makeup brush holder. You could even put your dotting tools in it if you really wanted to. I wouldn't say this is a good like toothbrush holder, or, you know, you can't drink out of it because it's wood, but something that you can put dry items in. So like here's a finished one. And like you can totally put pens and stuff in it. Yep. Sometimes I call that my jasmine color palette. Sometimes I say beach. It just depends. Depends what I'm going for. Currently, it's definitely very jasmine vibes. Yeah, yeah. Which I honestly, unless you're like super, super familiar with that kind of stuff, like even when people do tumblers, they still tell you like you shouldn't be putting your lips to it. You know, that's why they have a lid and a straw that you drink out of. Even if you were to paint a mug, for example, and you use the glass paints, the multi-surface paints, they'll still tell you don't start right at the lip. You want to like start down here so that when someone drinks out of it, your mouth isn't going to touch the paint. So yeah, this is probably a little small for kitchen utensils unless you do like plastic spoons and forks, and or, I mean, you might be able to do like metal spoons and forks, but this is relatively lightweight. Yeah, these take me anywhere between 4 and 5 hours to complete so far. So I usually work on these for about 2 lives. Most of my lives are about 2.5 hours long. This is only my 4th one, but I've done like flower pots before, which is like the same idea and the same kind of like wraparound design. So design-wise, it's not unfamiliar to me, but I've never done these surfaces before. Hi, thank you. Welcome in. Lots of practice, and I mean, sometimes I still mess up all the time. Sometimes. I still mess up all the time. But I just know how to fix it. And I don't stress it when I do mess up. Oh, I know. But I mean, my issue is there are just certain things I won't do because it's hard to, I mean, anyone will buy it if they want it, right? But I try and keep a lot of my stuff smaller and not as like insanely expensive, because obviously the longer I spend on it, the more, you know, this is my full-time job. This isn't just a hobby. So I want to get paid for the time that I put into my stuff. And certain things I just feel like while they look cool, they're not one of those things that I feel like most people will choose to spend their money on, if that makes sense. But maybe that's just me being what's the word? That's me being, I don't know. My words are not coming to me. This is, most of these colors are Deco Art Americana, which are acrylic paints. I'm using a couple metallic acrylics, like the gold is a multi-surface, and then this teal one is like just a metallic. But yeah, they're all acrylics. Right. Yep, if we were supposed to do everything perfect, we would not be humans. Right? There's something cute, not cute, but there's something nice about having the little handmade imperfections, because you know a real person made it and it wasn't made by a machine. Yeah, so it doesn't really look like a hydrangea dot right now, but I call them hydrangea dots because whenever I add the top dot accents, the way that I position my top dots, and the way like they layer, it kind of, I mean, if this was more round, like usually I don't do a swoosh, it's usually just like round dot, side dots. But whenever I top dot them, the way that they're layered in the position of the dots, it kind of looks like a singular like hydrangea flower that goes into a big, you know, the big hydrangea flower itself. It's just a name that I call those dots, and people who watch me, they know what I'm talking about when I say, oh yeah, we're gonna do a hydrangea dot. Trying to think if I have anything with the hydrangea that I can show you. Don't know if I do or not. We'll get to it eventually, I'm sure. Yeah, she might have to scroll out and come back in. Sorry, Gabrielle. Gemini, when's your birthday? Yeah, I was supposed to be technically a Leo, I guess, but I was born about 2 months early. Oh, we're close. I'm the 13th. I was supposed to be born on my mom's birthday, August 17th, but my sister and I came out early. Sometimes Friday the 13th. Sometimes. I think last year my birthday was Friday the 13th. Pretty sure. Yes, I am a Gemini, yes. I do sell my art. I just passed my 5-year dot-iversary on March 7th. So we hit a pretty big milestone. I also teach. I teach as well. Thanks. So I do sell patterns. They're on my website. There's a section in my website that's like, I think it says patterns or something like that. They are downloadable PDF files. So when you purchase them, it gets shot to your email. So make sure to include an email when if you place an order, and then check your spam and stuff, because sometimes they'll get lost. But yeah, I have a bunch of different patterns to choose from. They're step by step. It tells you what tool to use, what color to use. There's pictures so that you can, you know, make sure you're following correctly. So March 7th is the day that I bought all my materials and started playing around. My business, I don't really know when it officially started. I always had like the mindset that I wanted to try and make money somehow, because when I started this, it was a hobby, but I was out of a job. And I like am one of those people that even though my fiance was supporting us, I was still like, you know, I'm not going to sit around and do nothing and, you know, expect him to pay for everything. I was very much in need of, like, you know, resetting my mental state, because I was experiencing some pretty big burnout. But I still was like in work mode. Like, that's just how I am. I have to be working. So the classes change every month. A lot of the times they're on Mondays and Tuesdays and Saturdays, just because it goes well with like the rest of my schedule. But the classes are recorded. So as long as you're in like a paying member of the subscription group where I do my classes, you can watch them on your own time. Oh man, I just stuck my hand in paint. You can watch them on your own time, like as a live replay. You can't obviously like talk to me live like they can when they're watching live, but you can watch everything, and you can even go like a year back and watch past lives and all that kind of stuff. Where's my black paint? I'll put it away. So like at the beginning of the month, you can join at any time, but I do new stuff every month. I'll post pictures of the projects that we'll be working on for that month. And then in the comments of each picture, I'll put links if, like, you know, there's a certain surface, or I'll put the color palette and all, you know, everything that you need to do a project. With that being said, you are able to kind of play around a little bit. Like if you don't want to do a certain surface, just get one of the same size and it'll be fine. Or a similar size and it'll be fine. Or if you don't want to do the color palette, you don't have to. So, yeah. I also have beginner basics in there to start you from the beginning. Think of them kind of as like prerequisites, right? Because while it is open for everyone, if you're a true beginner, it is going to be difficult for you, because I kind of try and do a little bit of everything. I don't want my intermediate, I guess, people who've been dotting for a while, I don't want them to be bored. I don't want it to be too easy, but I also don't want it always to be crazy hard for the beginners. So I kind of mix things up and do different things each month. The goal of the VIP group is to get you guys comfortable with dotting and help you kind of think outside of the box, into like what you could paint or what you could make for a gift or something like that. This pattern, I'm just making it up as I go. So I won't have this pattern posted anywhere, but I do write patterns, and I sell them on my website. One of the things for VIP, I write a pattern for them every month, and it like comes with their subscription too. I can give you the colors that I used. I can tell you the colors that I used, but I'm just freehanding this design. Yeah, I've always been that person that like needs to work. Need to keep myself busy. No, my paints have always been out on my desk. You want to be careful with, you know, your paints freezing. Like, hopefully they don't. But I think I can finish that one now. But I don't really think being too warm is as much of a problem as them being too cold, because paints can freeze. That's not the right tool, but we'll make it work. Oh, thanks. Thank you, thank you. All right, I'm actually gonna do a seashell, I think, next. No, we're gonna do some walking dots and then a seashell. Oh, like you wanna buy like a piece of art? Is that what you're asking for? Oh no. Do I want to do walking dots? No, we'll do like a small little swoosh here. JGrondz.art.com. You might be able to get it if you go and look at like my profile bio on here. I have a link to my website, and there's a lot of stuff on there. These though, these things are not posted yet. I'm not posting them until I paint all of the 6 that I have. But there's a bunch of different things on there. Lots of art. Have fun looking around. There's lots of pretty things to look at. Hello. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. They are really small. Thank you. I haven't decided yet. These ones aren't done yet. It does, but the more that you practice, the more just meditative it is. But sometimes there are certain projects that really test my patience. Like if something's kind of not going the way I expected, or maybe I'm not feeling the color palette. Sometimes different color palettes affect me in different ways. Oh, that was ugly. Hold on, let's take that off. I might have to turn this upside down because painting these little swooshes from this angle, it's kind of awkward. I think maybe I'll be able to hold it upside down in a second. Thank you. They need redone. I've had them since like the beginning of this month. I think I'm probably going next week. Let's look at these. How is this drying down? These remind me of extreme glitters in a way. Hold on. I do. Wow, this isn't really, you can't really see. It's not really doing it justice. But I do like it how, like, I'm still loving that one. Probably won't do all of these. I might pick, like, you know, 1 or 2 of them. But still pretty. I do sell my art. And I teach. Yeah, I got the pastels in last night, so I've been working on getting those portioned up, but every time I get my pre-orders in, I usually add in a few new ones so I can play around. It is, I call it a silicone wiper tool. You can find it on my website too. So weird how going from a different angle doing this is like so different, feels so different. Oh, thanks. I'm really bad at posting shorts. I'm really bad at making content because I spend so much of my time live. This is not my only platform. my big platform is actually over on TikTok, but I've been trying to sort of branch out a little bit more, spend a little bit more time on YouTube and Facebook. But yeah, I'm live almost every single day, so sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to make content. Yeah, so those ones, they are white, which I was interested in them because I like using extreme glitter, but sometimes I don't want it to turn blue-green over a color, if that makes sense. So oh yeah, I don't think they have TikTok, or do they have? No, I can't remember. But I do have a Facebook too that I go live on Mondays and Tuesdays. But yeah, I wanted options, so that's why I grabbed those. Thank you. Not as comfortable feeling. Like, it feels awkward to do it on that side, but that's all right. Pretty not perfect. That's what we say anyways. So I think I am going to do a seashell. If I can find it. Here we go. I think one of the things that is making it difficult for me is some of this is still wet. So typically I would hold it like this, but I can't. So it's just, you know, a little awkward. These will be pen cups, and I'll probably post them in a couple weeks because I have 2 more of these to paint, and then I'll post them all at once because I want to keep one and I don't know which one I want to keep yet. So that way I can kind of think about pricing a little bit more, because I've never done these before. So when it comes to painting a certain thing for the first time, I don't know. Because sometimes I go by the hour, sometimes I just go based off of like how other things that are similar to this that I've made before are. It just kind of depends. Sorry, I'm kind of holding my breath right now. Bless you. Toby. Speaking of Toby, he was a sleepy boy today. So I had a one-on-one at 4:30 today, and I was cuddling on the couch with him, and he like fell asleep, and then I had to wake him up, but he didn't quite like move, so I just tucked him back under the blanket and, you know, went and did my one-on-one. And then my one-on-one ended around 5, and he sneezes every night when I'm live, so not that I expect it, because I obviously never know when it's gonna happen, but I'm used to it. So Scott picked me up after he was done with work, and we went out to do a few errands. And when we came back around 7, he definitely looked like he just woke up, like he had sleepy kitty face. And I went and I felt the blanket, and it was super warm. So that little dude was like pretty much sleeping for like 3 hours straight and didn't move. I was like, you lazy. Yes, I'm in Pennsylvania. I mean, maybe. I definitely live on caffeine, so I usually have about 4 or 5 shots of espresso in my coffee every day, and I usually start drinking it in the afternoon, so I'm usually hopped up on energy at this point, and I'm so far so good. Four, five, six, 7, 8. Oh yeah. The Halloween tools are fun. Hello in Alabama. Oh, that's not doing justice online. Same, I'm a big Halloween fan. But the more I do like my biz, Christmas is definitely becoming a favorite holiday. But it's probably because I spend so much time painting Christmas ornaments and doing Christmassy things, because that's what people, they like that stuff. Don't forget the spring tools are coming out soon. With like the ladybugs and stuff. The rock and roll tools. What are those? We don't have those. Oh, okay, hold on. I'll show you the swatch cards. I hope they're in here. Okay, so these are the 2 sets coming out soon, within sometime this month. All right, so this is the spring set number 1. So these are 2 different tulips, and you can color these in. So yeah, we're gonna have a groovy set at some point. We're still working on it though. And we added this, and I was like, well, we have to have a bunny too. We already have the peep tools, but we don't have an open one, which you can color all these in. So this is the spring set number 1, and then here's spring set number 2. I was using them a lot last week, but most of those ornaments have sold. So the only one I have at the moment will show the ladybugs. So there they are, all colored in and finished up. Oh, thank you. And then I'll show you the prototypes, because we have sort of changed it since. So here's a prototype set, still working on it. We haven't talked about it since. Let's see. This set is coming out in June. This one we already have. And then this set, we've already slightly adjusted. So there's a little piece, so that, like, that's this. We've added like a little piece underneath it. So when she sent this set for prototypes, I didn't have that one. So there's that. This, we're getting rid of that. We're changing him just a little bit, but we're getting rid of this. We're adding mushrooms. And then this we've changed a little bit so that it's not like broken up. I know why she did it, so that it didn't bubble, but she kind of moved it down a little bit. So those are wood containers. They're like, you know, for pens and makeup brushes or something like that, you know. So yeah, it's been a good time. We also, Mary Margaret, have a everything but the paint tool holder that we just started releasing, but they're filament hogs and printer hogs, so they take a long time to make. So I don't have like too many at one time, but it holds the PSM, it holds all your dotting tools, it holds your color palette cards and your guideline stencils and like everything. So I could, if I wanted to, yes, but that would involve me getting like probably a tumbler spinner, and kind of treating this like a tumbler. And my sister, she does tumblers, and she's done tumblers for longer than I've been dotting, so like 6-7 years. However, over time, she's unfortunately had issues with resin irritating her skin, because that's what happens a lot. So she used to be my go-to person whenever I wanted to do a tumbler, because I don't have the space to have like tumbler stuff, because I just live in an apartment and I really don't have like a way to kind of shut it off to the world and make sure everything's like super protected. So, but yeah, I was gonna say someone, Gail's gonna be doing it, so we'll at least get to see what it looks like. So unfortunately, basically once you have a reaction, you're kind of just stuck. It can go away, but it'll come back when you use most resins again. And like she has the mask, she has it all, and she still gets hives and like crazy looking contact dermatitis rashes everywhere. So yes. Did you get your tools, Beverly? When you said the other day that you want the Highland Cal set, I didn't want to ruin the surprise for you. Yeah, so she is unfortunately like not, oh, I did the wrong color. Oh well, we'll do every other. She's unfortunately trying to get out of the tumbler making, and I just don't want to risk it, because I use resin a lot of the times to cover my art, and so I'm just kind of scared to do tumbler stuff, because I kind of have a method to protect myself as much as possible with when I use resin regularly, but I'm afraid that if I start tumblers, it'll expose me a little bit more and a little bit longer. Yeah, so you can find some really beautiful natural rocks, but there's also, you can also like get your own pre-made, or you can make them your own with molds, and they're perfectly round. This is the only stone I have at the moment, and we started this a while ago and I just haven't finished it, but yeah, this one will eventually finish, which I'm gonna have to do that soon because that color palette's gonna dry out. You guys are gonna have to remind me after we get our ornaments done for this week. I might have to start like finish this. Yeah, so it kind of sucks because some resins just like, you know, make people get their rashes and others don't. Like I feel very safe using resin rockers, but like I don't know anyone who has had issues with it, but there's always that risk when you're working with resin. So you had it because it was one of the mystery sets. I didn't want to tell you and ruin it. So that set will be coming out in June. You just got it early. So you'll have that set. You'll actually have an extra tool, because the one flower is not gonna, like the non-rose flower, that one actually won't be in the set when it releases in June. It'll be in a different. Oh, interesting. Yeah, Yeah, you should be wearing like a mask and, you know, working in a well-ventilated area, but there are some resins that are worse than others, like that Alumilite. I know a lot of people that have issues with it eventually, and that unfortunately is what she started with. So I don't use that one though. Yeah, when you said it the other day, I was like, ooh, I don't want to spoil it, but you have it coming. It's already on its way. Where is my Champagne Extreme Glitter? What the heck? Where the heck did I put it? It's like gone. Oh no. Is this it? Oh, I'm staring right at it. Yeah. Yeah, so not all UV resins are the same either. Some really suck and they turn yellow right away. Check out Resin Rockers. I'm serious. Their stuff is a little pricier, but quality-wise, all of their resin is amazing. Their UV is the only UV I use, and it cures very nice and shiny and not sticky, and it just doesn't yellow. I mean, it might yellow eventually many years from now, but it's interesting because she has the owner, she has like on her windowsill little like clear pieces that she's made with her UV resin, and then like other brands that she won't tell you what brands it is, obviously, because you know, that's not a good business practice, but she'll show you like hers is still clear after, you know, years versus the other ones that are starting to turn yellow, and she'll like show every once in a while how much more yellow everything is compared to hers. So I would recommend checking them out. It's definitely worth it. Some stuff, in my opinion, is worth paying more for the quality. You know, just kind of biting that bullet for just a better product in general. I'm using Champagne right now. I meant to use it all the way across, but I forgot, so I'm just doing every other dot now. Oh yeah. Check out Etsy. I'm sure they have some. You can pretty much find anything on Etsy. But you want to be careful when doing resin for things like that, because even though like it might be cured, some people don't know how to stretch their ears properly, and that can cause reactions. Like I've seen people talking about that on TikTok. And you want to make sure, like, I mean, if you're using them for yourself, that's different, but if you're doing it and trying to sell them, that's something you want to think about. Hello. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen people, some shops on Etsy that sell like molds for gauges. So less is more with this, because technically it's varnish with just pigment mixed in, so I don't want to go as heavy with this as I would for like a normal top dot, because it will kind of run together. So just something to keep in mind when you're dotting with this, especially on like a curved surface. You got to be very careful with the amount that you're using. Less is more. I'll probably dot on top of this too, but what I'm basically doing is I'm just making this a really pretty sparkly, shifty kind of light blue color. Right. When I was in college, I don't want to even say that I gauged my ears, because I really didn't. I went up like maybe 2 sizes. I had these swirly earrings that were really cool. They were like acrylic, they were white, and they were round, they weren't like flat. And they just slowly kind of got bigger and bigger as you twisted it, and they looked so cool. But I remember every time I had to kind of push them further in or go up a size, my ears, like, they always hurt. But I never gauged my ears big enough to where, like, I couldn't ever, like, wear normal earrings and have, like, an issue, you know, with them falling out or whatnot. But at this point, they're probably back to normal, normal size. I remember when I was in high school, my sister was trying to gauge her ears, and my parents, they found out, and my dad was so mad. He took all of her gauges and flushed them down the toilet. Good night, Judy. See you tomorrow. I am painting a wooden, like, cup to make this into, like, a pencil pen holder. Yeah. Yeah, now I just have 2 holes in my cartilage and my nose. That's all I have at this point. Speaking of jewelry, guys, you want to see my new rings? I got new rings. Okay. I bought this one for Easter. It's a little bunny, a little opal. And then this one's okay. I'm still trying to decide if I want to get used to it. This one I already had. I already had this one. Made the purchase because of this ring. I wanted this ring for many, 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 many months, and it was always out of stock, but I noticed that they restocked it, and so girl math, you can't just buy one, you gotta buy multiple, right? And then this one is for spring. These are 2 different rings because I like both of them, just didn't know. There's a butterfly and this, and there's a couple other ones, but I'm not wearing them. Yeah, so I will put a gloss varnish on top when it's done. And I'll also put, like, a piece of felt on the bottom too. But it's sparkly on the inside. I don't really know if you can see it. There you go. But yeah, so. Oh, you've got 10 earrings. Is it 5 on each ear or 10 per ear? Oh, yeah. I only do stainless or sterling silver. That's the only thing I use. And I don't wear gold, so but I'm sure I'd be fine with gold as well. I'm okay wearing, like, the fake earrings for a little bit, but they will bother me after a while. So any earrings that I ever make, if you were to buy earrings for me, general you, not just like you, but anyone, all of my earrings are made with stainless steel. So they should be good for your ears if you're sensitive. Oh, plastic earrings. They're opal, but like fake opal. Not like, what was it? Lab grown opal. Fire opal. I prefer blue, but blue's harder to come by. Like if you were to go to like a nice jewelry store, but I found a good supplier, which maybe one day you'll see me giving you guys some options on my Webby just for fun. But this is a white stone, white opal, but I prefer blue because I love this color. It's one of my favorite colors. Yup. Synthetic opal, yeah. Because to me, like, regular opal is kind of boring, you know, it's not that sparkly, and you almost only find it in white, and I prefer the blue. So I just call it fopal. Because it's real-ish to an extent, but... Oh yeah, the black ones are really fun. Those are hard to find too. And have you ever seen the purple? Purple's really pretty too. I had a pink one, like it has a little heart, that I wore around Valentine's Day. I also, you guys, I'm not wearing it, but I got a spider and a coffin so that I can wear them around Halloween time. But I used to just keep the same rings on all the time, and for the most part I do. Like this one will probably be a standard one you guys will see me wear, but some of them I'll change up in different seasons because now I'm just collecting. Oh yeah, that would be cool. Do you live near, well, if you don't live near a beach, I can't remember where you live. Next time you go on vacation, you should walk a beach and see if you can't find a pretty one. Yeah, I love opals. They're my favorite stone. Unfortunately, my birthstone is pearl, which is dumb. It's boring. That would make sense, yeah. But then you have to, you know, find someone to make it into jewelry for you. There are these opal people on TikTok, and they show them when they're in water, and people don't realize that you have to keep them in water, otherwise they won't look as pretty. And I'm like, what the heck is the point? I guess if you're like a crystal person, then maybe, but otherwise I think it's pretty silly. No, I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on what actually is in it, unless it's like fully gold, you know what I mean? Isn't it pretty? They have it in a couple different like stones, but of course I like the opal the best. Well, do you usually react to gold? Or is it just like nickel and stuff that typically causes the reactions? Because I know I'm definitely allergic to like nickel. Well, there you go, Holly. Next time you go, you should look. Oh, interesting. We're gonna make this extra sparkly. We're gonna add the champagne extreme glitter on top. Aww. Oh yeah, probably. Ooh. So Scott wanted a non-traditional ring for me, and I put up such a stink about it. Like I wanted a diamond. Like I didn't want anything else on my ring. My mom, her ring is diamond, but it's surrounded by rubies, and it's very pretty. But I was very set on having like a traditional engagement ring and eventually wedding ring. And he was like, why? It's just a freaking ring. And I'm like, but I wanted a diamond. I want a diamond. It's the only stone on my hand that isn't an opal, basically. Yeah, it would. I still am pulling in some top dots. I'm sure I'll bring maybe one more color in. Yeah, opals are so pretty. I wanted to make myself like a beaded opal bracelet. I think there's something called like the opal dealer or something, but I hate spending money on myself. And I just, you know, wasn't sure if I was gonna be great at it. Yeah, so he already got his non-traditional the last time, and so I'm like, it's traditional. I want traditional. This is my first and hopefully only marriage. I was being a little brat. Yeah, so I have chameleons. I call them chameleons. But yes, that was the first set of pigments that I released. And I think they're really fun, but they show up best over black or dark colors. Yeah, moissanite is definitely, well, so my sister, she got a moissanite ring, and it's very pretty, but it doesn't last. You can definitely see the scratches and stuff on it. I want to say it's a phase. Like I know diamonds are expensive, but you can even get like lab created diamonds. No, we're not doing it wrong. Yeah, so the community here, I'll show you. So like here, you're talking about like these, right? So certain ones only show up best over certain colors. So these ones on their own, they're kind of grayish over white, but they turn out really, really nice when you put them over dark or black. Which is why I came out with the pastels, because they do better over black or over white. But like for example, we'll just use this. So when you put it on white, it's kind of like boring. You know, you can really see it and it's just kind of like meh. But if you were to put it over black, it's way different. I don't want to use that swatch card. And this has a like a thing in it, like a gloss in it, so it's gonna dry a little differently. But it just shows up better over black. It doesn't look as gray. So sometimes you want to use different things. Like things always turn out well over black, but they turn out differently over white. Like these ones are ghost pigments. So these ones are basically white on their own. They just have different color shifts. But they look like way more vibrant over black. And then like these are the pastels that we did a pre-order for at the beginning of the month. They just came in last night, so I'm currently portioning them up. This is over black and this is over white. And you can see that it looks completely different. Like this one's more of a pinkish, where when you put it over black, it's like yellow. This one looks more pinky, but it's way more vibrant over black. That's just kind of how some of these are. But yeah, it's fun experience experimenting with different ones. But I do primarily black backgrounds, so that doesn't usually bother me. Pearl X. I'm not sure if I've ever used Pearl X. I love mixing pigments into a varnish and painting with it. I don't know if I've ever used Pearl X. I'm trying to decide what I want to do on the maybe we'll start with gold. Oh, yeah, I'll have to look next time I go. I was just there tonight, but I'll have to look for it and see. Oh, magic. You like magic. Magic, magic, magic. Where is it? This one? Isn't that sick? Pearl X is a paint. A type of paint. Who asked about the hydrangea dots? Are you still in here? I agree. There's only maybe a couple of the ghost pigments that I want to bring in, which is this blue one, of course. But I think my main focus the next time is going to be a smaller drop, but the holographic is going to be in there, and you know, maybe a couple of these ghost pigments. I'm not trying to do a new mica or a new pigment all the time, but if I find a cool one, then I will get them. The red didn't turn out the way I wanted. I'm really upset about it. So I did order the right one this time, but it didn't. It was a letdown when I got it. So I've got to talk to my supplier and be like, help, because I thought I ordered, you know, the color that I expected, but it was not. I know, it's actually pretty ugly. Look. Like, it's fine. It's pretty. It's not ugly, but it's not like freaking metallic-y fire engine. Well, I wouldn't say it's like a fire engine red, but it was way more vibrant on the swatch in the catalog, and it's just not, that's not what I'm looking for. So I'll find it. I had to go and do like 7 different tries for the hollow until I finally found it. So it's okay. We'll find it eventually. But yeah, unfortunately, I did not find it this time. Ooh, sapphire might be pretty. It might be a little too cool blue for the color palette I'm going with. Yeah, I'll have to try I'll have to look and grab one and see just to, you know, test it out. I typically don't try new paints from the craft store because I'm stubborn and I like what I like, and you know, I'm tired of being let down with different paints not performing the way that I expect them to. Good night, Beverly. Right? But the swatch is red, so I don't know. Maybe it was the way his lighting was. But, I mean, I've been pleased with, you know, all the other ones, so I'm not really sure why that one is so much different in person than it is online. That's true, but still, I still expected like a nice vibrant like chrome powder. I did. Finally. So I was on the right track the entire time, Gail. It just wasn't the right like cut size. I had to go up a lot. It is, yes. Yeah, because I finally sent him a picture and I was like, this is what I'm going for. And he was like, oh, like you need this. And I was like, really? He goes, yeah. It's hard to tell, but like you need this size or this size. He's like, I can't really tell, but like, you know, try one of these. And both of them were close, but the one was, you know, closest. So I was like, yep, that's the one. So at least now I know. Yep, JGrondz.art.com. I should have it linked in my bio on here somewhere, but yeah, if you just type that into your browser, or you go on like my Instagram, I have my link tree, same thing with my Facebook, but I'm pretty sure I linked my link tree in my profile on here. So I was watching Foolish Mortal on TikTok last night, and she was doing her paint pours, and I wanted to dabble in paint pouring just for funsies, but like I know it's a lot harder than it looks. And so I really like the when it has like the little bubbly cell looking things, but those are hard. And so what I think I learned is that I didn't thin my paint enough, even though I thought it was thin. I don't think it was thin enough, but it's a big paint waster for it not to turn out right. So I'm, and it's messy. So these they'll be dry by tomorrow. Maybe not like fully dry. Like I could like poke it with my nail and maybe dent it, but I'll be able to like, you know, very quickly. The metallic paint kit thing. Where is it? Oh, that's weird. So there was an issue earlier, Emma, where my phone just decided to restart itself. And I don't know if it's still happening, but when I came back on, my live was gone. So I restarted the live. But when I looked on my computer, my other live was still going. It was just a black screen. I don't know. So I don't know if that's still happening. So maybe that's why. So tomorrow we'll be on TikTok at night at 9:30. So I won't be back on here until Tuesday night. So you'll find me on TikTok for the rest of the weekend except Sunday. 9:30 to midnight tomorrow, and then 2 to 5 and 9:30 to midnight on Saturday. So tomorrow we'll continue working on this. Saturday and most likely Sunday we'll be painting ornaments. This week, since we did, well, we might kind of do a little bit of a mix. We did the glitter bulb ornaments last week, so technically this week is open for the etched wood ornaments, but I think I want to do a few more glitter ornaments. So we might start Saturday afternoon doing glitter ornaments and kind of see how I feel, because maybe we'll just do another week of the glitter ornaments. I don't know. So ornaments after tomorrow, ornaments for the rest of the weekend, because we still have to do our 5 for the week. Since we've been doing these pretty much all week. I haven't done any. Sometimes I try and do some ornaments on the side, but I was actually planning VIP all this week, so I didn't do any free fun painting, ornament painting on the side. Sometimes I do some of that off camera, but I did not do any this week so far. And in my free time for the remainder of the week, I'm going to be portioning up pigments. So, but I'll probably maybe drip a few ornaments. Well, yeah, I think I need to drip some ornaments. Yeah, I don't know. It could just be like a weird glitch that's happening right now, because I have no idea why that live was still up when I couldn't do any, like it didn't show it on my phone on my app. So there was no live for me to close out of. It just made me start a new live, so I'm not really sure what's happening. All of my live, my classes that I teach, they're all replay, so you can take as much time as you need. I post a schedule at the beginning of the month with all the project info as well. So if you want to gather supplies, I usually give you guys about a week or so to gather certain supplies if you need to. But don't feel like every single tutorial you need to have exactly the same thing I do. If it's the same size roughly, then you'll typically be good. But since everything's on replay, you don't always need to have everything by the time the first live rolls around, unless you want to paint along with me. But the replay option makes it really easy to follow along at your own pace too. Master's Touch Premix. Oh, yeah. I've heard of that. Do you like it? So these aren't beads. This is actually paint. But, you know, that's okay. You don't have to pay for it. Oh no. So anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow on TikTok at 9:30 Eastern. We'll continue painting this and do some ornaments this weekend. So thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.